So welcome everybody. We're going to begin as we always do with finding our seat. And that is the first stage of a meditation practice, is in knowing that you've set aside time and that you've set aside space and that you've set aside a seat in yourself, right? Because that's what meditation is, that experience of going inward and feeling the expansiveness that is contained within what seems to be a very finite body, a very finite mind. So coming into your seat means settling into that, is that you're coming back in as opposed to being focused outside. So your seat should be something that is comfortable, relatively, and it should be sustainable. So if you find yourself setting up a seat that is too strict, too structured, adjust it. And then relax your hands, relax your shoulders. Relax your idea that you're going to accomplish anything. And then let your eyes close and just start to feel your breath. Sometimes we say to notice the quality of your breath. Don't even do that. Just feel it. So feel the sensation of the breath at the nostrils, the tip of the nostrils. The sensation of the breath as it moves through the throat. The sensation of the rise and fall of your chest. The expansion of your ribs. The expansion of your belly, your lower back. I just want you to be with the feeling of your breath. Focusing on the sensation. There's the touch of the breath at the nostrils. Feel the breath through the throat. The way the breath feels in the ribs, maybe even the heaviness of that pushing out against the ribs. I want you to feel the container that the breath is moving through. It makes no difference what the quality of the breath is in this moment, but can you feel yourself as the container? Enjoy the feeling that your skin, your bones, this container that is your body is like when you place a blanket over your legs, you place a blanket around your shoulders. It's a comfort, this solidness. The breath can easily flow beyond the confines of that vessel. I want you to feel it at the nostrils, in the throat, in your chest, in your ribs, in your belly. And start to feel the breath as it flows up and down the spine, inhaling, following the breath from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And exhaling, following the breath from the top of the head all the way down to the base. And inhaling, following that flow all the way up to the top of the head. And exhaling, following the flow from the crown down to the base. And watching the breath move up and watching the breath move down. Maybe with your attention on that central column of the breath of the spine, you can feel the wideness of everything else. So that sense of you as the container is still there, but there's that greater sense that there is a wideness that is beyond. The breath moves up and down the spine. And on the next exhale, as the breath flows down the spine to the very base of your pelvis, let your awareness rest there. The breath will continue to move. Your awareness rests at the base of your spine. Begin to repeat to yourself, either internally or externally, up to you, the sound of Lam. With every breath, L-A-M, Lam. Inhaling the sound Lam. Exhaling the sound Lam. Awareness at the base of your spine. The sound is Lam. And as you're breathing there, you can imagine the breath is circulating around the base of your spine. At the end of your next breath, release the mantra. Just feel the experience of the lowest part of your spine, the lowest part of your body, your legs, your feet. And bring the awareness up to the space of your pelvis, the low belly. And let the awareness rest there. The breath continues to move. The sound is Vam, V-A-M. Internally or externally, repeat the sound. Every breath, Vam, Vam. Feeling the breath circulating in that area of the pelvis. Whatever impressions there are in the mind, don't try to filter them. Your only activity is to allow the breath to move and to, in your focused mind, repeat the sound Vam. At the end of the next breath, release the mantra. Feel the whole area of the pelvis. And bring the awareness higher to the space of your navel, the belly. The breath continues to move, but the awareness stays here. The sound is Ram, R-A-M. Either internally or externally, repeating the sound Ram. If your mind is having a challenge staying settled on the sound, you're repeating it internally, try doing it externally so that your ears have something to hear. The vibration of making the sound runs through you. R-A-M, Ram. Every breath. Your awareness at the navel, around the belly. Remember, the breath is just moving. Nothing for you to do with it, just let it flow and circulate. All you're doing is moving your awareness and repeating the sound. Your next exhale, release the mantra, feel the space of your belly, front and back. And bring the awareness up to the chest, heart center. Here the sound is yam, Y-A-M, yam. Allow the breath to circulate through and around the heart. Repeat the sound externally or internally, yam. Don't get caught up in the desires to move. You need to move, move. Keep your presence, keep your awareness at the heart. And don't lose the sound, yam. With the next exhale, release the mantra. Feel the space of the heart, front and back. And bring the awareness up to your throat. Here the mantra is Ham, H-A-M. The breath continues to move, your awareness stays at the throat. Repeating the sound either internally or externally. Ham. The breath continues to move as it does. All you're directing is where your attention rests. You're repeating the sound Ham. Everything that happens outside of those two things has nothing to do with you. Allow it to be. With your next exhale, release the mantra. Feel the space of your throat, front and back. And bring the awareness up to the space between the eyebrows. And draw the attention back from that point between the eyebrows straight to the center of the head. The mantra here is Om. Allow your breath to continue to move. And awareness stays present. Third eye space. And you're mentally repeating the sound Om. Breath never stops. Sound of Om does not stop. Relax. And with your next exhale, release the mantra. Feel the space of your third eye, front and back. And bring the awareness up to the top of your head in the space just a few inches above. There is no mantra here. Allow the breath to circulate. And look for the space between sound, between thought. While your awareness is here, reject nothing. Absorb every sound, every thought, and look for the space in between and beyond. With your next exhale, feel the space that is the crown, beyond the limits of where you think you begin and end. And then instinctively go to whatever point feels like home. You have to think your way to it, but whatever point you drop back to, let your awareness go to where home is. And let the awareness rest here, part of your awareness rest here, wherever here is. And bring your attention back to the feel of the breath at the nostrils, the feel of the breath through your throat, through your chest, your ribs, your belly. Feel the container that you are, the body and the mind. Feel your seat. And for a moment, let the eyes float open. If you're not familiar with them, those are the seed sounds of the chakras. They're the internal sound or the cosmic sound of each of those energy centers. The sound that I gave you in each place is the one that corresponds to that energy center. It's interesting to go through the entire flow and then intuitively, instinctively say, where do I return to? Because even though all of those energy centers are united, they're all intertwined with each other and we all have them the same, the way that we are put together energetically is not the same, right? So every one of us has a tendency to be a little bit more present in certain chakras rather than others. So that instinctiveness, that intuitiveness of if I go through the entire flow of these energy centers, where do I automatically return to? interesting for you to know, right? Where is it that I return to? Because that's the place that for you is a place of strength. It's a place of familiarity. It's a place of this is what I reach for in me. And if you know that, then you have a clearer sense of how your mind is going to keep working through things, how energetically you're viewing the world, right? So the chakras are this great experience of your inner self. It's a great experience of how your inner world really is put together, because that's a reflection of how you're going to act in the outer world. So interesting to see, if you do this kind of meditation more than once, do you habitually return to the same place every time, right? Or when you're feeling a certain way, does something trigger in you and say, I need to go here, right? Because this is the point of the chakras, is not just to use all of them or to try and clear all of them or work with all of them, but where is it that you in particular have more energy running or less energy running in you, right? So becoming aware of that means that in given circumstances, you know, maybe I need to put more attention on this energy center because it's going to help balance me, right? So this inner work, the tools are not just to try and take us somewhere in meditation, but they're really designed for you to understand your inner world. So another way that you can work with the chakras is those seed sounds. So of course, I'll post them when I post the videos. I'll have them written down in the description so that you can see them. But interesting to note for yourself where you went back to that felt like home, right? Or even if nowhere felt like home, where did you go back to instinctively as this is a place of safety, right? Or this is what I want to reach for. So change your seat if you need to change it. I've been very into the idea or focused on the idea of the inner sound versus the outer sound. So all of those mantras that you use internally, especially with the chakras, because they are said that those sounds are always going, right? Is that you tap into them. You don't have to create them, you tap into them. And when you tap into them, then that experience of sound and silence become united, right? That there's a feeling that if I go deep into the sound becomes so complete that it becomes silence again. And that's what we're looking for in the experience of meditation, is not that there's noise in our mind that we're trying to quiet, and the silence is what we're looking for, but that within that noise that we experience, if it's all unified, it becomes silence, right? So that's what we're playing with, is can you tune into the inner sounds so that you can experience that sense of unity that feels like silence, right? A silence that is full. So we're going to do a breath that is loud, just your last little breath. Because I wanted to do it last week and I didn't get a chance, so we're going to do it this week. It's Brahmari breath. So it's the bee buzzing breath. So what it looks like is you're actually, this is the symbology, you're closing off all of your senses. So your thumbs go in your ears, your fingers go over your eyes, your ring fingers can gently close off the nostrils or even just touch on the mouth. It can be the middle finger that closes off the nostrils as well. So you're closing off the senses and you're breathing in. So you can't close off your nose completely. You're breathing in through your nose. And then internally, you are humming. You're making a humming sound. It's a breathing in and a on the exhale. And then when your exhale is done, you breathe in again. You exhale, humming internally. But stick your thumbs in your ears. They have to really be in there. And then fingers, again, symbolically close off the eyes and the mouth. Gently close off the nostrils so that they're about halfway closed. And then you're inhaling the breath. Exhaling, internally hum. And inhale again. Keep going. Inhaling the breath, exhaling, making that humming sound. The beauty of doing it this way is that usually when you're doing this breath in a group, is you're worried about how dumb you're going to sound. But you're by yourself. So hum loud inside your own mind. You want to feel the vibration of that, like there are bees buzzing in your throat, that there's bees buzzing in your internal world. Good. And it is symbolic having the hands over the senses. So if that feels a little claustrophobic, you can take the hands away and just gently close the nostrils and the ears so that the sound stays internal. You're humming. Feel the vibration through the throat. Feel the vibration through your head. Like bees buzzing, vibrate your internal world. The breath that's often can be said to feel aggravating. So even if you're doing it, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't like this, relax. Hum your breath out on the exhale. You're not doing it for long. Like bees buzzing. Draw out the sound of the exhale as long as you can. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Vibrate. And it's also funny as me watching you, as I can't actually tell if you're making sound. So do your best to fool me. And at the end of the next exhale, hum your breath all the way out. And then release the hands down, let the eyes remain closed, and just feel the residual vibration. The end of the sound, what is there? The end of your known experience, what is there? The end of your effort, what is there? And bring yourself back again to the feel of the breath at the nostrils. The body is a container for the breath. And back to the feeling of your seat. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center, please. Rub your palms. Fast, faster, faster, faster. Good. And then take that heat, please. Cup the hands, place them over your eyes. You're drawing in that warmth. You're drawing in prana, this vessel that is the body and the mind. Pull yourself back in. That's what meditation is. Pull yourself back in every way you can and make the awareness of that inner space home again. Maybe it never has been, but bring it back to where this is home. The mind has no need to wander. There's no desire to wander because everything it could ever want and be and think and feel is all right here. Good. Bring the palms back together at the heart. We'll close the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Letting the thumbs to the space between the eyebrows. Thank yourself for taking the time. And thank you for spending the time with me. Namaste. you guys so much. I'm going to unmute you so you can tell me how that went.